a row, startups from all over the world will be pitching specially for you. And we will be broadcasting and doing these live events for Hong Kong time zone, London time zone, and New York time zone. So pick the best time that suits you. All the startups will be pitching especially for you. We had done already almost 50 preliminary battles in all over the world, had screened enormous number of the startups, had chosen the best ones that will be joining us for the finals. So you just cannot miss this great event. And I would also would like to share with you great news that for the fall, we have something special. We will have vertical battles, the battles that will be designated for like a special industries. And there will be only 4 partners who would be joining us for this battle. So if you want to see all the startups in your industry from all over the world, just through the fall, please join us. Please contact me on a station. We'll tell you more, and let's do it together. I would like to introduce you briefly to our company. We are the ecosystem of online solutions and web-based platforms that helps to solve almost any task in the field of innovation. And it helps startups to grow into businesses. Investors can find the best deals through us. Professionals can make money with us, and corporations can get the best startups ever. The core and the heart of our system is Startup Network. We had reached almost 200,000 users, and every month we are growing. We have 1,000 applications more. There are a lot of startups in our base. So please go there and look for yourself. Unicorn Battle is one of the oldest parts of our system. It gives great opportunities for the startups to expose themselves. For the investors, they can find the best deals throughout the world, and partners can become really global together with us. Please look at our map. We are now officially the largest pitch competition in the world by the number of the startups, so by the number of the events we had done and the geography that we had managed to cover. If you see a country, city that we are not there yet and you would like us to be there with you, please contact us and we will be more than happy to do the battle in your city or your country. We had been doing our battles for 11 years already, had done more than 200 events. We do them on permanent basis in the United States and many, many countries all over the world. We are covering all 5 continents, and we are very happy that we are really good in picking the startups, and especially thanks to our expert board. We are picking great winners because our winners throughout the battles had managed to fundraise more than $100 million in total, and our VC community keeps growing every time. There are more than 500 top VCs within our community and more than 1,000 angel investors and private investors. And our another entity is Silicon Finance. It's a great chance for the startups that would like to relocate to the United States. It's a special program for them, and that helps them besides relocation to apply to the top US accelerators. And also our Network VC California Seed Fund is one of our recent entities. It's a special VC fund with 2 current strategies. First one to invest in our pre-acceleration program, and the second one to be a lead investor in our Silicon Valley Syndicate Fund. And Silicon Valley Syndicate Fund is a special entity that allows syndicates to be easily organized. Now, every private investor with a $10,000 check can join us and be part of a syndicate by investing together with us in the top American startups. So please join us. If you are a private investor, if you're a startup, you can raise funds with us. And if you are a professional, you can lead our chapter in your region or your country. Please contact us. And now I would like to pass a word to our special guest, CEO of the VC House and our great friend who had founded the GTS, Sasha Johnson. Sasha, are you with us? Sasha?
She was here.
Yeah, I saw her.
Maybe she's muted.
I don't know.
Yeah, Sasha, we can hear you.
Sasha?
Yeah, you muted me.
Oh,
hello.
Gosh, who did that?
It's okay. I can talk. Yes. So having been in the California venture capital for quite a long time, I also had an opportunity to look at the companies outside. What is used, actually still the term exists, emerging markets. And that's what I've discovered, that while entrepreneurs are pretty much similar all over the world, and their zest and the ideas to build companies, and they are unstoppable. What I saw that there were fewer investors in emerging markets, and as a result, there will be fewer syndicated deals. And if you look at the best and the brightest companies in Silicon Valley, you will see they usually have more than one investor. So that's where the idea was born, to create a platform for active venture capital funds from all over the world to exchange deals. And obviously, when you already, actually when you are in Silicon Valley, it looks like it's so easy to find a deal, and it always has been like that. And my colleagues would say that sometimes they never even need to leave an office because there will be those hundreds and hundreds of applications and stacks of business plans of companies willing to pitch to them. During these challenging times when everything is changing, and we have agreed that there won't be such a thing as back to normal, because there would be a new normal. The way we look for deals now is mostly online, because I know many geographies are open, and Europe probably enjoys more freedom, but we in California are still sheltering in place. So that was another ingredient to having access to bigger deal flow, and that is what the startup network has created with unicorn battles all over the world, is one of the opportunities to give access to that extra deal flow, which you would not have seen if you just were inside one geography. So the idea of the VC House is that it's a networking platform for active venture capital funds. That is the only requirement. You have to be able to lead a deal, to participate in a deal. And if you bring a deal from your portfolio company or outside your portfolio company, then if you attract other venture funds to co-invest with you in that deal, you still need to participate in that round. That is the only requirement. So the VC House will have several virtual rooms, depending on the geography, on the stage of the deal, industry. And we are holding our first meeting tomorrow. And you still have time, and if you contact Anna or Anastasia or Natalia, I guess you have all the contacts, you still can fill out the questionnaire and be present at that meeting, and then we'll tell you more. I don't want to take more of your time, but just again, VC House is a networking platform for active venture capital funds from all over the world. The only requirement is you need to be an active investor. That's it.
Thank you, Sasha. It was great presentation of our recent entity, VC House. And we will hear more from Sasha, the insights, but later on, before our networking session. Right, Anastasia?
Yes. So,
Bill said that he might join, even during the battle, to see what startups are presenting, but we do plan to be on around 11:30 or something with a fireside chat about the trends and insights, look from Silicon Valley when it comes to the investment opportunities.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Sasha. And I would like to say thank you to our partners. So it's a Silicon Finance Pre-Acceleration Program and our media partner Event Browse. Thanks our partners to spread the word about our events. And let me introduce my colleague, event manager Lydia, and she will lead you through our agenda. Lydia.
Hi, thank you.
Welcome
Thank you,
to our
Anastasia. So I'm so happy to see you, everybody here. Now I want to introduce you to our today's agenda. As always, firstly, we start with jury introduction. During this section, every jury will have 1 minute to present themselves and tell something information about your experience or about your VC company. After that, we move to the most important part of our battle is startup competition. So every our founders will have a special time, is about 3 minutes, where they can present their startups, and after the jury will be able to ask different questions. And the happiest part of our battle is winners announcement according to our voting platform. Also, we have a special guest, it's Bill Reichert and Sasha Johnson, and they will tell us about investment during pandemic. So after all, we have the networking. It's a time when you are able to discuss 3 topics and ask different questions each other. So you are welcome also to our chat in Zoom. So feel free, and thank you so much, Anastasia. And I go back to you.
Thank you, Lydia. And before we start the pitch competition, please greet our honored judges who volunteers their valuable time for this event today. And please introduce yourselves and tell us about you for 1 minute, pointing what industry, size check, and location of startups you invest in. And first, I would like to introduce Alexander Soroka, CEO and founder at Startup Network. Alexander.
Thank you, Anastasia. Hello, everybody. Our seed fund usually invests from 50 to 250K in startups which are located in the United States or Europe, and we are industry agnostic. Thank you, Anastasia.
Thanks, Alexander. And I'm pleased to introduce Roman Nikitov, head of ICU Ventures, and our golden sponsor, Roman.
Good morning, California.
Good morning.
We're actually hoping to be there in person, but the time is different. So we're still there, but online, thanks to Startup Networks. I represent ICU Ventures. We're Kiev and London-based late seed and round A venture fund. We invest in companies that are usually domiciled in US, but have some links to Central and Eastern Europe. Keep 30% of our portfolio opportunistic to all other projects. Very excited to be part of this honored judge members, and looking forward to the startup battle today. Wishing luck to every project that will pitch.
Thank you, Roman. So any judges are welcome to introduce yourselves now. Just don't hesitate.
I guess I'll introduce myself. I'm Eugene Malobrodsky. I'm a partner at One Way Ventures, and we invest in the immigrant founders that immigrate into US or Canada. And previous experience was a founder of a consumer startup that got sold in 2018. Good luck to all the companies. And our check sizes are between 500 and $1 million mostly.
Thanks.
My name is Greg Shepard, and I am a Forbes author, also a writer for Entrepreneur and Fortune and all those places. And I started Boss Capital Partners. We are a early stage Series Seed company. Our check sizes are 500 to 5 million. I've done 12 consecutive startups to exit, and that's my deal. So.
Thank you, Greg.
I will go next. Hi, I'm Kirill. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me again. I always enjoy your competitions. And I'm the founder of Malamut Startups Agency. We are based in Frankfurt, Germany, and Zurich, Switzerland. We help startups to raise money and do the after deal management. And we help investors, or better said, venture capital funds to find co-investors for the deals and to invest money with other VC firms, mostly in Europe or Eastern Europe, but also in the US. And we mostly accompany startups from seed round to Series C. And good luck to every startup who's pitching. Looking forward to see the winners.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Itai Maron, a venture partner at Heroic Ventures. We are an early stage venture capital firm based in Palo Alto in California. We invest in heroic founders. All we care about is Silicon Valley and Israel. We invest in as early as possible, many times where there's only a presentation. We invest in teams and in TAMs. So we're looking for smart and entrepreneurial teams, know each other well, huge TAM, relevant background for a founder market fit, and that can hire great people and can articulate the problem and solution well. We're sector agnostic, and good luck to all candidates today.
Thanks
you,
for joining us.
I go next. Hi, Anna and Anastasia and everybody.
Hi,
thank you so much for having me. I am an associate at Expert Dojo. We are an international accelerator fund based in Southern California. We invest over 50 companies a year. I'm an advisor at Green Hill Venture, based in Boston and New York, and advisor at women-based Astia Group, minority and women that they are focused in. I'm happy to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.
I can go.
Hi, I'm Marisa. Oh, sorry, Marisa Alma McGinnis, and I'm a managing director with Golden Seeds in Silicon Valley. Golden Seeds has 300 accredited investors, 8 chapters, and we only invest $50 and $2 million. And I'm also a limited partner with Bloomberg Capital Management. They're headquartered in San Francisco, and they have an office in Tel Aviv and New York. And then they do deals that are 10 million and under. Thank you.
Thanks, Marisa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Saladets. I'm part of the 500 Startups investment team. 500 Startups is a global venture fund and business accelerator. We are industry agnostic. We invest in early stage, pre-seed, seed stage companies globally. Our typical check size is $150,000. The companies that we invest in, they get accepted into our accelerator program, which actually has recently changed its format. So we now accept the companies on a rolling basis, as opposed to twice a year as it used to be. So yeah, now the applications are open all year round. Everyone who is interested, feel free to go and apply at 500.co. And I'm very excited to hear today's pitches and wishing luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.
Hi, this is Michelle Messina. I'm CEO of Explora International based in Silicon Valley. And we do a lot of prep for companies getting ready to raise capital. So I've worked in 65 different countries around the world. I'm part of the board of Startup Chile, and I'm a NASDAQ author in residence for my book, Decoding Silicon Valley, The Insider's Guide. So I'm looking forward to some great pitches today and wish all the companies good luck.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Michelle.
Michelle.
I think Brett will go next, right?
Yeah, I'll try to pipe in here. We'll have a quiet moment. Brett Noyce, founder and director of Unventures. We're an early stage investor syndicate. We're focused on kind of 4 primary areas: personal finance, future of work, SMB automation, data and regulatory compliance. primarily focused on seed and Series A companies, and we target a 250K investment through SPVs. That's us, and my coworker Davis might show up on a few of the screens, so I'll mute myself. And so thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Great to have you, and you have some cute guy with you that looks like you but a little smaller. I just yeah, that was him.
Hi, Betty.
Yeah, that is cool.
This is our reality, right?
Absolutely.
That's a young startup right there.
Yeah.
I thought you might have been a before and after look as well.
Exactly. Yes. Anyone next? With kid or without kid? There is no special line.
Okay, Bill Baker, not associated with a fund. I only invest my own startups, and I recommend a select few to friends in the investment business. I'm taking a little bit of time from disrupting unhealthy lifestyles with my new venture, Nutrition IQ. I almost registered it, by the way, for this event, but decided we weren't ready yet, and look forward to a lively competition. And thank you for continuing to invite me.
Thanks for coming. It's good that you didn't register, because we wouldn't taken you as an expert board if you were registering to pitch your startup, right?
Okay, probably I'm next. I'm Stas Hirman, partner at TC Ventures, co-founder of SVOD Conference. We invest in Silicon Valley, mostly into immigrant startups. Average check between 50 to 250,000. We also bring our syndicated partners and other funds. Personally, I also invest as an angel. And in the past, I co-found 3 startups in Silicon Valley with 2 successful exits.
Wonderful. Great to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Can I go next?
Sure, Marcelo.
Hi, thanks for having me again. Every single event I'm here, so thanks. I love the event. I love the judges, the pitch, etc., etc. My name is Marcelo. I'm located in Boston. I'm partner at Drummond Ventures. We have an office here in Brazil, and we invest from $500K to $5 million in any kind of sector. Thanks a lot. All the best to the companies that are going to pitch today. Thank you.
Thank you. And
hi, I can go next.
Hi, Ruchi. Yes.
Yeah, hi Anna. Thank you. I'm Dr. Ruchi Dana. I'm a doctor and a Stanford MBA. I represent Dana Family Office. I'm logged in here from Dubai. We invest globally. We invest mainly into early stage and some pre-IPO deals. In early stage, we invest around 250 to 500K. And in pre-IPO deals, the amount is a little bit higher. I'm very excited to be part of Unicorn Battle and looking forward to this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And
okay, I think I can go next now.
Hi, Jesus.
My name is Jesus Flores. I'm part of Hacker and Founders here in Silicon Valley. We are based in San Jose. We invest in emerging markets, so everything related with Latin America, Middle East, Southeast Asia, and Africa is really an interesting market for us. I'm happy to have conversation with any startup that is looking for a seed round investment.
Okay.
And good luck to everybody today.
Welcome on board. And
may I jump in?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and this is a pleasure to be here as always. My name is Evgeny. I speak on behalf of XD Capital. We are an impact evangelist, bringing together capital, businesses, and innovations. We manage sustainable projects with impact investors around the globe. Waiting for great pitches, and I wish good luck to all participants. Thank you.
Thank you. Quite a fancy mic you're having.
Yeah,
I want this one. Yeah, I want this one too. I would look good with a mic like that.
Okay, Sunil, you can go next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sunil Ranka. I'm based out of Silicon Valley. I'm part of ZNL Venture. We are an early stage seed funding We typically invest into the companies which are based out of India as well as United States. Apart from ZNL, I'm a founder of a company called Predictly, and we are into automation and AI space. And it's always pleasure, Anastasia and Anna, to be part of this, and looking forward for the battle.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. So next, Tom.
I can go
Okay.
next. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can go next.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
this is-
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Sudhir Kadam. Welcome to California. I'm the venture partner at FIDA Growth Partners based in Mountain View in California. My role is to put startups with early adoption on go-to-market steroids and provide market access through our network of corporate connections. FIDA's portfolio comprises of B2B frontier tech startups. Our focus is mainly on helping startups grow and preparing them for M&A opportunities. Some of our exits are in the areas of location apps, video streaming, IoT platform, cloud workload protection was the company we sold last year to McAfee. Good luck to all startups.
Thank you, Sophia. And the next one will be, I know, there are a couple of judges always waiting to be the last ones. Yep, James, come on.
Hi, I'm James Sowers, angel investor, and I also run the Pop-Up Venture Syndicate. I do angel investing in some early companies, and then the syndicate sometimes acts as a sidecar and follows on, or is also for later stage deals. And the syndicate writes much bigger checks, obviously, between 1 million and 500,000, depending on the deal. And my angel investment checks are between 10 and 50,000. Good luck to everybody today.
Okay, great to have you with us today. And
my name is
Tom.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and thanks for inviting me. I'm a partner at Founders X Ventures. Our check size is typically between 100,000 and 250,000 at seed stage, and we follow to Series A. We invest in deep tech, including AI and big data, quantum computing, space tech, fintech, and more recently, food and ag tech as pertains to renewable energy. So thanks again.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. We are almost done, but there are a couple very
maybe Jordan.
Jordan has not come up yet.
Yeah, Jordan.
Oh, Jordan, you look like a baseball player. You're on my second screen. Why is that?
This way or this way?
Yeah, this way, yeah.
This way, definitely. Good morning, everyone, or good evening. Good to see all of you. I do miss the old days. I do miss the old days. I know I hated it, but I miss it badly. Good to see you all. Jordan Wabe, ex-Bay Angels, currently managing partner of Silicon Valley Venture Group. We invest in technology that matters to humanity. Write checks between 25K and 250. Invest in the US. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to reach out, please feel free to do so. And I cannot be more excited about what Anna and Alexei are doing. This is
okay, I love this word. Thank you, Jordan. And come on, I know you're there. Yeah, Gulami.
Yes. Hi, I'm Guillaume from Validate Venture Partners, and my team and I help startups to expand and grow, mostly in the US and in Europe, and ultimately help them to get funding. And I'm pretty curious to see what talent we have today.
Some very interesting stuff. You can bet on that. Thank you, Gulami. And the next judge. One.
Daniel.
Last call. Two. The last call.
Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. My name is Daniel Kiselinsky. I represent GSD Venture Studios. I'm a vice president and partner of GSD Venture Studios. We bring startups from outside US to US market as a start to the rest of the world. And I'm also the founder of Go Global World community, helping founders from around the world to go global. Guys, you're doing an amazing job. I'm happy to participate as a judge here, and I wish everyone good luck. And I recognize lots of faces in here, so I'm saying hi, everyone. And thank you for inviting me again. Okay, have a good one.
Thanks. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And we have a special guest who also will be joining Sasha Johnson for Fireside Talk later on before the networking session. Bill Reichert. He had been very quiet. He's a managing director at Garage Technology Ventures and partner at Pegasus Tech Ventures. Bill, would you like to say a couple words about yourself?
Sure, thanks. I didn't mean to be lurking here, but yes, hi, my name is Bill Reichert, and yes, I'm managing director of Garage Technology Ventures, which is a seed and early stage fund. We generally write checks in the $100,000 to $500,000 range at the late seed stage. And I'm also a partner at Pegasus Tech Ventures, which is a big global venture fund with $1.5 billion under management that invests pretty much all over the planet, looking for strategic technologies that are relevant to its LPs. So I will be delighted and honored to be on stage with Sasha later on this morning and just chatting about the state of the world. So meanwhile, I look forward to hearing what you guys have to show us.
That's great to have you with us. I hope you'll enjoy what will be happening next. Anyone else? Time is now.
Yeah.
Okay, Anastasia, I think you're the next one.
Hi guys.
I see Joe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry guys, I just got here. Sorry for a little late. I was in another meeting. So it's awesome to be together with you again. So just introduce myself, and I'd like to first of all to say hello to all the contestants there. It's a pleasure too. But just say that I'm the former country manager for Brazil at Zendesk and Indeed. So I have plenty of experience on international business, and now I'm running Apollo IO in Brazil too. So and also have a great connection with the US, where I am the advisor of Mucker Capital there. So I always help Mucker Capital to bring new companies, to introduce companies to the US and to most of the cities that is relevant for the company to invest. And I'm looking for great ideas, great opportunities, great people, and I can help not only for Macro Capital, but also other investment groups that I'm joining here from Brazil, that we invest and we look for international companies. So we're looking for all types of companies from seed money to Series A or B. So it's a pleasure to be with here, and I hope to have great people showing here. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we are moving forward. Anastasia?
So yes, and I would like to tell about our voting process. So dear judges, to start voting, you just have to click your link we sent you yesterday, and to get access to profiles of today's presenters. So you have to put marks depending on investment potential from 1 to 5, where 5 is the highest mark and 1 is the lowest mark. So you just put marks to each company, and you don't need to put any confirmation button, or you can change your marks before we will close the voting process. If you need any assistance with your profile, or you don't get this link, just tell me or Julia, and we will send it again to you. So let us know if you have any problems. And for attendees, this information for you, you have also opportunity to support participants. Just register at our event page and put your likes to favorite startups and support them. So, and now I would introduce our startups. So there is 9 startups presenting today, and each startup have 3 minutes to pitch and 3 minutes for questions, suggestions, of any feedbacks from judges. And we recommend to not talk about fundraising out loud, because this is our public event. And if any investors ask about it, just please discuss it privately in a chat, or you can meet after this event and discuss all details. So, and let's start our competition battle. And first startup, it's Refer Me Job. Alex. Okay, and I will put 3 minutes and you can start. We can't hear you.
Can I start now?
Okay, we
Speak louder,
hardly
please.
hear you.
It's very quiet.
Very quiet. Hold on one
Yeah, like more louder.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's loud enough. Yes.
But presentation was gone.
Yes. You need to share screen again.
Alex?
No.
Now we can hear you again.
Sorry, I got disconnected.
Okay.
Okay, let's start again.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Alex Tang from ReferMeJob.com. Since the pandemic, 49 million Americans lost their jobs, and the job market has become 4 times more competitive. Sending cold messages and blasting resumes on LinkedIn and Indeed are not effective. 30 to 50% of hires in the US are from referrals. Job seekers are 4 times more likely to get hired with referrals. 70% of companies have referral programs, but there's no easy way to find someone to refer you. Our platform solves this problem. We match job seekers with verified company insiders to get information interviews and referrals. Company insiders can build their teams, score referral bonus, and make money on our platform. How big is our market? Each year, 50 million Americans change jobs, plus 3 million new grads. That's our TAM, 58 million. COVID-19 is adding even more. To start off, we plan to focus on IT, engineering, and financial industries. That's 12 to 14 million users as our SAM. How do we do this? A job seeker will create a profile, preview insiders' information, and get connected. Then he can request for a referral. If he gets an offer, then it's a success. We will apply for US patents on reciprocal recommendation models for insider and job seeker matching. We plan to charge 20% commission on information interviews and job referrals, which average about $90 per transaction. How do we get users? As a pandemic relief platform, job referrals will be 100% free to help those affected by COVID-19. Our team has 3 million alumni networks from 15 universities, which include Stanford, Cornell, Duke, and UPenn. We plan on listing our service on their career websites. We will also partner with nonprofit organizations for the same cause. How do we stack up against our competition? We cover more professional industries and provide incentives to insiders. We have a simple UI to guide users through the process. A rating system will make high-quality insiders stand out. We start off with 4, then expand into all professional industries. Later on, we will provide services directly to employers. Our market will keep growing because millennials change jobs 3 times more frequently than others. Here's our team. Diane is our founder. I'm Alex Tang. We also have Professor Liu from Indiana University who will develop our machine learning algorithm and apply for patents. Thank you very much. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you. So yes, now any questions?
Hi. Yeah, hi. This is James. I have a question for you. You mentioned machine learning as being really important, and I was wondering where you were going to get the data points and how many data points you actually think you need, because with big data these days, the companies like Facebook, Amazon, and Google, you need hundreds of thousands of data points now to compete with them.
Hi, I'm Diane, the founder, and I'll take that question. It's a very good question. And I did speak with Professor Liu, and what he told me is, because he has done a lot of papers and with, applying for patent in the US and also in China. And what he told me is that to develop a very basic reciprocal recommendation system, he only needs actually about 500 job seekers and around 200 to 500. I think something that's less than 500 would actually work for writing a paper and also developing the patent. But of course, the more the better. But the minimum requirement will be just several hundred.
This is Bill Baker, and I saw on your profile that you went from ideation to a product within 3.5 months. It says you started in April, and yet you completed, here it is, mid-July.
Yes, correct.
Okay, if it takes such a short time, what stops another entrepreneur to start, since the barriers of entry are so small, and what stops your competition to actually add a couple engineers and get this thing done in less time?
Yes, which is the reason why we have 4 front-end developers and 4 back-end developers and 1 UI designer. Because the reason I'm having that many developers is I know that the opportunity, the time window is very important, right? We want to grab the market where it's just about to pick up after the pandemic, having more job openings and starting, everyone's going back to the market to look for a job. And I don't mind, giving just a bit more shares to a lot of the part-time bright-minded developers so that we can actually get the market when it's the right timing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think that was the question, ma'am. I think he asked about the competitive edge, and I'm not sure you addressed that very well.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm conscious not to take too much of the bandwidth, so the question wasn't answered, so we should move on to the next question.
Yeah. Well, I'm still curious. So what makes you, if it's such a short order to get there, I could do it with Bill's help, and I got 2 Bills here that probably fund me to do this. So help me out.
Alex, do you want to take that question?
Oh, sure. I mean, I think the recruiting market is so big. And then I think even if our competition is very strong, I think we can, as long as we have like a share, even for a very small share of the market, we can still survive and do very well in this market. Like as you can see, there are LinkedIn, Indeed, and several other big companies that's playing in the same field. I think we have no problem surviving and doing very well too.
Yeah, and I don't know if I answered the question right before, but I guess what I'm trying to say is we are actually the first one that has a fee-based job referral platform that's breaking into the mainstream market. We're not only covering tech industries, we're going to cover finance and engineering and other consulting industries. And this will be the first fee-based platform. And competitors like LinkedIn, they don't do the same as us because they don't give any incentives to insiders, right? That's the first thing. Second thing is we are a marketplace platform and LinkedIn is not. So we can do a rating system to rate the insiders so that job seekers would know, who are more effective. But LinkedIn cannot do the same, right? You really, it's just not their culture to rate anyone on LinkedIn.
Those are all features. They're not differentiators. That's all it is. Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Thanks, Alex. Your time is up, and we have to move next. Thanks for your presentation.
Do you want to open the Q&A in Zoom so we could ask questions? And there's a Q&A feature.
Yeah, you can chat here in privately, or just discuss it maybe later at networking session. So, and our next startup is Funnelize. And Juan. Welcome.
Hi, Anastasia. You see my screen?
So, yeah.
You can hear me correctly?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Juan, CEO of Fanlyze, and we're building the sports search engine and analysis platform to quickly get accurate sports data. Sports data and analytics is rapidly growing. Fantasy sports and sports betting have over 100 million Americans participating. We want a piece of the exploding sports betting market, estimated at 215 billion by 2025. Everyone wants to win, but they just don't have the time and data to do the research needed. On average, we spend about 10 hours a week on research, and it's difficult. You can see Americans lose about $120 billion a year on sports betting. We needed to speed this up. So we built Fanlyze, a sports search engine and analysis platform to simplify the process by aggregating relevant data and using search to analyze and compare players or teams. We're integrating natural language processing to get to a specific data point faster by answering conversational queries. For example, show me past stats on the 49ers against the Chiefs. We've launched our iOS and Android app, receiving a 4.5-star rating with over 5,000 users during the 2019 NFL season. Using the app on average 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Our users enjoy all the data in one location and the ease of comparing players. We're the #1 fantasy sports search engine with a vision to be the Google for sports. As we roll out esports this year to increase fan engagement and provide one location where fans can get team and player information in real time to help them with their fantasy lineups and bets. Fanlyze disrupts the sports data space similar to how Google disrupted portals such as Yahoo, AltaVista, and Excite by focusing on search, aggregating accurate sports data, stats, content, and news. We're offering a freemium model to allow users to subscribe for advanced stats with customized analysis. Our team is ready. I started my career in Silicon Valley designing websites and mobile apps. I worked at 2 natural language processing startups and have been doing user experience for several years. I've known my co-founder, Chris Longway, for over 30 years. That's our high school varsity football team in the background, league champs that year. Chris also started his career in the Bay Area as a software engineer, working at a few startups and big companies like Motorola and Green. We have a talented team with expertise in mobile, search, partnerships, sports, and analytics. Now that we've got the ball rolling, we're seeking partners to help us scale. In the middle of COVID-19, we were selected and now participating in 2 top sports accelerator with Sport Radar and Hype Sports Innovation. We're working together to launch a top 5 sports by 2021, with including Olympics. Let's team up to speed up sports analysis and give Fanlyze users the competitive edge to win. Thank you.
Thank you. So
Can you
now
elaborate, please, on unit economics? What's your customer acquisition cost? And yeah, that.
Yeah, we're still pre-revenue, but we've been testing Facebook ads. I think we can get $2 per install, but this year we're testing conversion to paid customers. So,
Bill Baker here. Can you
hi,
hear me?
Bill.
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
So first of all, I'm trying to figure out how accelerating $120 billion in losses is good for your business. That's one. 2, on your profile, it said you basically are reducing the search time by 30% or 33%, whatever it is. So I'm going from 10 hours to 7 hours. That's an incremental increase of improvement. Okay? Shouldn't you eliminate, you mentioned Google. Google eliminated my search time by orders of magnitude. What motivates me to join your organization, use your service?
Yeah, no, we found out like we actually get more data, more quality data, so people spend more time on that, right? We could speed up data, but there's extra data like people would like to look at. And it's funny because we thought it would speed it up more, but they said, this is another tool that could help me actually increase my chance of winning with the data you provide. So with also speed, we provide relevant data and additional supports to keep them coming back. And like you said, the data part is what we're pushing for as well.
Yeah, as somebody that used to use the gold sheet, hint, And I like what you're doing. I think it's a huge market, and obviously a huge opportunity. Okay, good luck.
Thank you, Bill. Yep, appreciate it.
Real.
Victoria.
So join the Sunil.
Ladies, Victoria, go ahead. Ladies first.
Go ahead, Victoria.
I would like to know, in terms of competition, there are certain companies like Gloria, for instance, doing that. They're based in Silicon Valley, and I want to know what is the differentiator of you and the other players in the market. And then the second question is that whether you are thinking to work with any federation or any organization in order to be partner with to leverage your platform much easier for the expansion.
Yeah, no, thanks, Victoria. The first question, how we're different with our competitors is our competitors, like I said, they have a lot of content, they have exclusive data and additional features. And analogy is, how Google beat up Yahoo. They focus, it's similar to a portal. Well, we just focus on getting you the accurate data quickly through search. None of our competitors are focused on search, and that's what we're doing. And through a search engine, natural language processing, machine learning, and AI. The second question is, we just started Hype Sports Accelerator. They're based in Europe, and we are pitching their partners with brands, esports leagues, and so forth. But yeah, we are looking into that. We talked to Canal Plus, Delta Tray, and so forth, other broadcasting companies with Hype.
Thank you.
I have a question, Zul. Are you only focusing right now at American football?
No, not anymore. Once we got to Hype, they're international, and we're pitching, brands in Europe and sports in Europe as well, with soccer or football and other sports. So
okay, because from my experience with my soccer agency, I know there are two competitors, Wisecout and Instat, and they provide data which you can't get actually. And there's the question, how do you position yourself? Because what you get as a search, you don't get this data what's on a professional level is needed. So how do you get—
Sure. So the two got it. There's two ways we get the data. So we aggregate the data through calling the top sports sites, and we're actually partners with Sport Radar. I don't know if you Sport Radar provides probably the international data provider for sports. So we get the license data, and we also aggregate data. So two forms of data. Like you said, professional data, we get it from Sport Radar.
Okay. Text me. Please.
Yeah, I see lots of questions here, but time is up. I'm sorry. And you can discuss it privately or ask questions in the chat. So we have to move next. The next startup is Moonshot, Julia.
Right. Can you see my screen, and can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, yes, good.
All right, perfect. All right, so my name is Alok Jain, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. And at Moonshot, we are in the business of transforming young minds. We are only 7 months old. We take a product-first approach. Our target size is 7 to 17-year-old. We get these kids. We prepare them for college admission and future of workforce by STEAM and entrepreneurship at the heart of the education. At the end of the program, these kids come out with a product on Amazon or an app on App Store and so on. We are a 20+ full-time employee company. We have put in our own 6-figure money into it. We started with the paid POCs, and many of those kids are already selling items on Amazon. And now we are on the trajectory to add 100 students every month. We have a very strong we have a very strong pathways to revenues. So I'll move on. So where we all really stand, what we are trying to solve here. So PwC, they are saying in next 10 years, there will be only 9% full-time jobs. But if you look at the data on the entrepreneurship side, it's going completely opposite. In last 30 years, the percentage of people who are starting their own businesses under 30 has gone down by 1/3. Again, there are pitfalls of education system and overall ecosystem, which is not really supporting, and numbers are not adding up. How we are really solving it? So we have a 4-stage process. The first stage is really explorer. We walk the kids through all kind of cutting edge technologies. We try to understand their passion. The second stage is really the preparation. At this time, we take them to a deeper dive. The third and most important stage is really the whole productization, the 5 stage of product creation. And then whoever get the product on hand, we take them to the e-commerce journey. And where we are, as I said, like we started literally 7 months ago, and we started with a 10 kit POC. 6 of them has a product on hand. For example, this girl created a product based upon Raspberry Pi, and she's raised over $8,000 on Kickstarter, selling it on Amazon. You can buy right now. There's another child. She created a fantastic box. It has a sensory toy for autistic kids. And she got invited to TEDx talk. You can listen to that talk right now. All this happened in the last 6 months. Doing this practical education, we really able to expose them to things like PNL and other, and really help them building a stellar resume for college application and future of workforce. It's a simple SaaS-based model. You pay a single fee, and each student get a project guide, and they expose them to subject matter experts and e-learning videos and assignments and group session and so on. Our business model is dual business model. E-learning is mostly our lead gen, and successful product, we take them to the e-commerce journey, and over next 12 to 16 months, we are going to make about $0.9 million through e-learning and $1.4 million through e-commerce. Again, it's a veteran team. We are already 20 plus full-time employees, and many of the core team members have built multiple businesses before. We have a very strong advisory board. We are raising our seed round, and I think that's pretty much it. Love to know who want to participate in transforming young minds.
Thank you. So now questions.
I have a question. Alok, are you guys right now, is it oriented on online and sending you a kit and working through online with the kids, or it's all self-taught? Like,
yeah, so it's all online, and as I said, like it's a mix of everything. So there are one-on-one sessions, there are e-learning videos. We send things to their house. But yes, we are also in the process of partnering with the school system and others. So we'll make at some point of time online, offline. But right now, everything is online, SaaS-based.
When the kids join, it's a one-time fee or it's a monthly fee?
It's a monthly recurring SaaS-based fee.
And what have you seen the retention?
Yeah, I think so. We done our 10 kids POC. We started our first batch. We started with 25 kids. They all are renewing, and this month onwards, we are going to have 100 kids minimal. So by end of this year, we will have 500 students. But we believe the retention should be at least 80-90% minimal.
Yeah, I like the idea.
Hi, Alok. One question regarding geography. Do you have any focus on geography?
We have students in over 6 countries already, paid customers, SaaS-based customers.
So no focus.
I mean, right now we wanted to focus only in US to begin with, but there is so much demand, especially this COVID is just increasing demand like anything. So right now we are getting customer everywhere.
And so what's your go-to market? How do you actually reach out to kids? Or is it to your
so, I mean, our background is online marketing. I've done it over 10 years. So Facebook ads is one, but then there is a lot of things going on. Parents are helping other parents, and when any kid is successful, they make their product, their parent first thing they do, they talk on Facebook, look how good my kid has done, and every box is labeled as powered by Moonshot. So other parents get inspired. I mean, there is so much going on.
Your price points, is that per person?
Yes. So, I mean, there are also group pricing, but yes, the price point, what you have seen, that's per person. But up to 4 kids can join and they get discount. So there is a group pricing as well.
So based on your price point is a very narrow demographics you're targeting, right? It's $150 a month. Did I read that right?
Absolutely. So, I mean, right now we are starting, let's say, top 10% percentile zip code. And it's very simple. The parents are keeping anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 for their college admission for their child. This gives a recipe to put on their resume, and a couple of $1,000s are nothing for them. I mean, price point, we haven't seen any problem.
How did you arrive at that price point structure? Can you flash that slide real quick?
Absolutely.
There you go. How did you get to 150, 250, and 500?
I mean, so it's really, so again, all the plan has exact same outcome. This is just speed. So in this one, you can graduate somewhere in 6 months. This will take you a year and a half. And this is just based upon our survey with parents and how much time it takes to really, I mean, we are talking something complex here. So it takes subject matter expert. It cannot be just put on e-learning and autopilot. I mean, so there are many things happening to get to the finish line.
Well done. Good mission. Thank you.
Thanks. And we have one question from attendees. What if the kids fail to launch a successful product?
Yeah, so I think the purpose is not to take everybody to all the way to finish line. If right now we are already thinking 50% of the kids will fail here, but we still open their eyes, we expose them to the all latest technologies. I mean, think about this as a PhD, but if somebody do not finish PhD and they do only master, so they won't do only undergrad, they are still successful. So the thought process is not really everybody will go to the finish line.
Just take their internet access away and move on.
I think in the end, kids just learn something. Even if they fail, at least they learn something.
I mean, that's the exact purpose. We want them to introduce early failures, and every stage you have a definite outcome, and yeah, it's all good. Whenever you want to drop, it's also okay.
Thanks, Alok. Time is up, and we have to go next.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thanks
Thanks,
for the
everyone.
presentation. So, and the next startup is Got It.
Hello, friends. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
My name is Armin. I'm a CEO and founder of Got It. Got It is a mental guide in the pocket of athlete. I'm a former professional tennis player, psychologist, and co-founder of Tennis Academy in Florida. And for 6 years, we accepted more than 2,000 athletes from 15 countries. And we noticed one simple problem. 9 from 10 tennis players lose matches only because of the mental weakness. And we decided to help them to overcome their mental difficulties and win competitions. We tested 80 mental techniques with more 1,000 athletes. And for 6 months, we sold them online for around $100,000. And then we chose one from 80 tested mental techniques and developed a mobile app for usability for users and scalability for us. This selected mental technique was one of the most demanded mental technique from 80 tested. The secret sauce of selected technique is a Q&A algorithm to make an internal dialogue with oneself, like with another person. It works like a role-changing game where athlete communicate with oneself from mentor role and then from mentee role. And then he have a chance to listen to his internal dialogue from third observer role. It allows distance from their destructive emotions and thoughts and achieve mindfulness and mental toughness and get answers which they didn't get before. So our MVP will be ready in 10 days. Then we're going to sell it through 3-week trial period. And then athlete can buy 1 month or 1 year full access. And also we have a great B2B offer for sports academies, federations, and associations. So our mindfulness market is growing so fast. Leaders are Headspace, Calm, and Lucid mobile app. But we're going to begin from tennis players. There is some opportunities for the sales, we think. We're going to start from tennis coaches and tennis academies, then tennis organizations. And in the end of the year, we're going to work with esports and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu organizations, which we have a request already from. Our competitors are working with athletes or with people like a YouTube channel. They give some audio or video lessons without any interaction with athletes. And nobody does internal dialogue with daily interaction with athletes like we do. This is our plan. So we're going to, you can see our planned growth in the yellow squares, and we're going to extend the app functionality in the fall and start working with different sports in December of the year. I told about myself already. Also, we have a great team of Russian IT developers and marketers. They're damn crazy competent and not expensive for us. Thanks God. We are graduates of Founder Institute Silicon Valley Accelerator, and we were selected from 400 companies and hit in the 8 graduates of winter cohort 2020. So we are looking for investments and partners from sports and wellness business. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Hi, this is James. What's your customer acquisition strategy to get these paid users?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
Oh yeah, I was asking what the customer acquisition strategy is in order to get all those paid users that were on your roadmap.
Yeah, gotcha. The first one, we have a great customer base, around 12,000 parents whose kids play tennis. The second is the Facebook and Instagram. The cost, we test the acquisition cost. It's around $3 or $4 for us now. And yeah, we're going to start from this and B2B channel, partners with organizations, sports organizations.
Got it. What's the lifetime value of the customers that you're acquiring?
We need to test it. Lifetime value of our previous product, not scalable product, like an online course, mental online course for athletes, was around 6 months. But about application, we need to test it.
Armin, Bill Baker here. Your secret sauce is the is your 80 questions, right? Or the questionnaire, if you will. Correct?
No, our secret sauce is we tested 80 mental techniques and choose one.
That's your secret. That's the secret sauce. How was the choice made, and who made the choice? I mean, I appreciate the fact you are a psychologist, but this process, which is, by the way, a big issue with athletes, it involves, this has been going on in behavioral sciences, and there are psychologists, and there are all kinds of professionals associated, especially at the pro level. How did that process, take me to that process in terms of how did you choose that particular one, and who was involved?
So first of all, our secret sauce is a technology. It's a technology of one particular technique. It's self-talk, when the athletes make a self-talk each other, one other. So we tested this technology manually, and we see that teenager doesn't need anyone to overcome his or her mental problems. So if I understand right your question, or
yeah, I think that first of all, your secret sauce is not the technology. Technology is just a tool. That's all it is. Your secret sauce is that one process that you selected out of 80 processes. Did you have a group of behavior scientists that you consulted with, from various universities? Was it peer reviewed, or was it just you and your background in the center of psychology and your tennis playing experience?
Yeah, the second one. The great teachers for us, it's our clients and their results.
All right.
Yeah.
Armin, I have a question for you about hiring. You've got a couple of really good top-notch developers on your team. Who's next as far as a key hire?
Developers team. CTO, the constant CTO in the team. Yeah.
Hey, Armin, I have one question, Kirill here. There's a difference between you and Talkspace, because you have compared yourself with other startups who are not providing the ability to talk to someone. But Talkspace, as far as I know, like Michael Phelps is standing for Talkspace, where you can talk actually to a person.
Talkspace, nobody does the technology like we do, like a self-talk, when you can communicate with yourself. I'm not sure that Talkspace can do like that. In our technology, you can listen to your dialogue, and yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks, Armin. Time is up. Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
And we're moving next. And the next startup is Sekut. Mark.
Okay.
Mark, please share.
Are you
your
able to see my
screen?
screen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Okay. Qiskit, the two-sided platform where grocery stores are going to bid to fulfill your shopping list. As of May 2020, the online shopping market has grown to $6.6 billion with the expectation that it's going to double in the next 2 years. And yet a McKinsey study showed that 24% of those online shoppers have moved away from their primary store because of challenges that are facing the industry, new challenges. There's no price predictability, and that's mainly because of the pandemic. There's no time predictability. That's because of limited delivery windows associated with the food delivery services. There are millions of hours being wasted by cost-conscious shoppers who are now coupon clipping in order to claw back from the expense associated with food delivery. On the retail side, millions of dollars are being lost because of stockouts. Retailers don't have insight into consumer demand, and it's flooding them at the wrong times and stocking out household essentials. They're responding by increasing marketing expense in an attempt to try to get back those loyal shoppers. What if shoppers could post their list in an auction for bid? What if they could select the types of bids they wanted to accept? Single bids or multiple bids? What if they could select the closing date on the time when they wanted to pick up their groceries? On the retailer side, what if retailers could bid for a list by customer type or dollar amount? What if they could know consumer demand prior to them making their own procurement decisions? And what if they could better manage overstocked items? And that's Qiskit. Qiskit is the two-sided platform where grocery stores can bid to fulfill your grocery list. The platform is pretty straightforward. Shoppers would pick a date, pick a travel radius in which they'd like to shop, and the number of stops they want to make in order to achieve the discounts or savings that they want. They post their list into the Qiskit auction, and after a successful auction, schedule a pickup time where the grocery stores will pick and pack the groceries and have them available at the service desk. Each successful auction yields rewards that they can cash in for groceries. How do we make money? Well, on the shopper side, it's going to be subscription-based. Think Amazon. We're going to charge an annual fee that gives them unlimited ability to post their list on the platform. We're going to also charge a transaction fee for every successful auction. Think eBay. On the grocer side, we're going to charge seat licenses so that both small and large grocers can play on the platform. And we're going to also offer advertising for brands and companies that want to make themselves known prior to users posting their list in the platform. Our launch, again, is pretty straightforward. We're going to have to finish the beta platform, and that beta platform is going to have a limited set of 15 to 20 high volume, high frequency items that are purchased every week. And we're going to continue to push forward our user recruitment in 2 to 3 major markets because we have to solve that chicken and egg problem. Moving into the first quarter of 2021, we'll focus on retailer recruitment in those same 2 to 3 key markets with a beta test scheduled for the second quarter of 2021 with the limited functionality of the 15 to 20 items with full functionality targeted for the end of the year. I think I'm the right person to launch this platform. I have a successful exit with Pride Rock Holdings, a biometrics authentication solutions that I grew to a $20 million run rate before selling to First American, I mean. I've launched 2 other startups in this space, List Genie and Rescue, a shopping app and a digital word of mouth app. I'm a senior executive with 2 different Fortune 500 companies and a senior strategy manager at a top business management consulting firm. I got a pretty good educational background as well, MBA from Tuck and a degree from Dartmouth College. I'm proud to present to you Qiskit, the two-sided platform where grocery stores will finally work for you.
Thanks, Mark. Any questions?
Yeah.
Are you the only founder or do you also have a co-founder?
I'll say again.
Good question.
Are you the only founder or do you also have a co-founder or you have a team?
Yeah, I am the only current founder. My co-founder is that was with me up through Pride Rock has stayed in the fingerprint business. And I am now just using contractors to build the platform.
So real quick, Brett from Adventures, I experienced this firsthand this weekend, going to 3 different places trying to get, and then the guy told me, oh, the truck didn't show up and there's no, he's there, it's not going to show up. So I experienced it, been experienced it. I guess my real question is, do we see this being a long-term opportunity, or is this just a short-term COVID opportunity?
No, this is the biggest opportunity in the grocery space. As we see people changing their shopping trends to online, what is happening is that you see that most retailers can manage inventory to the store, but once it's at the store level, they can't manage the inventory between stores. So in my experience, a Costco in Atlanta doesn't know what a Costco in Montgomery has. And because I travel between two stores, I saw the Montgomery Costco have more toilet paper than they knew what to do with, whereas the Atlanta Costco didn't have any. And so they lost opportunities to be able to sell that into the marketplace because they had no visibility into customer demand. So this is just an inherent problem within the industry that the current platforms can't solve for. So the delivery platforms like your Shipt or Instacart, they pick up after the procurement's made. We're on the front end aggregating demand and making that visible to the retailer even before they have to make their procurement decisions.
Thanks, Mark. And maybe a quick question, or you can discuss it in the chat. Yeah, we're just out of time.
Okay, I'll ping you, Mark. On the
Okay,
chat.
perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you. So our next startup is Stitched Insight.
Hello.
Hello, Dmitry.
Share the screen here. See. All right. Let's get started. Can everyone see my screen here?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So hello, everyone. My name is Dmitry Pavlov. I'm the founder and CEO of Stitched Insights. And today I'll show you how we get emotion insights that are more accurate than in-person surveys for the world's biggest brands in real time using artificial intelligence. And a couple of points I'll highlight ahead of time. So we're actually a portfolio company of GSV Labs, Google's developer launchpad. Our head of science is at Stanford's Human Artificial Intelligence Lab, pushing the limits of psychographic research right now. And this summer in 2020, we've experienced a big spike in demand from Fortune 500 brands to help them understand what matters most to their customers in a post-COVID world versus their competitors' customers much more quickly. So let's jump into the presentation. When we realized essentially that traditional market research can't keep up with the current changes and trends and how quickly everything is shifting, we imagined a real-time analytics platform that leveraged existing customer feedback for brands to make decisions much more quickly. The way this works is our system is actually able to look at any unstructured text in the form of support requests, customer reviews, internal support, calls, things like open-ended surveys, and actually integrates all of the interactions into one executive pane. And it's able to look at unstructured text in any language as well. So we actually have Fortune 500 brands currently using the dashboard to understand the strengths, opportunities, threats to their brand against their competitors, and to understand which features drive purchases, returns. And we're actually working with CPG folks right now as our focus market. The technology behind this was created out of a research lab out of University of Pennsylvania called the World Wellbeing Project that was founded by Dr. Johannes Eichstadt and Dr. Andrew Schwartz. And they essentially set out to create an unobtrusive way for folks like at the CDC to diagnose health risks unobtrusively. So what the CDC would do is they'll go out and survey 1,000 people to have statistical significance. What Dr. Johannes and Dr. Andrew Schwartz did is they created a new set of natural language processing methods that use deep learning. And by looking at simply tweets, any text, they were able to outpredict the CDC significantly for things like age range of the person, if they're male or female, if they're more influenced by social factors like their friends, or if they're more influenced by social factors like their families. And essentially if they're depressed, if they're excited about anything. And what we've done is taken those techniques and apply them to the commercial space. And we've actually created a SaaS platform. And I'll cut to the chase. Dr. Johannes Eichstadt is now my chief science officer. Dr. Andrew Schwartz is now my chief technology officer. And we've been working with Fortune 500s now for a little over a year and a half to commercialize this product. Thank you.
Thanks. So any questions?
Hi, Dimitri, Itai, Heroic Ventures. Quick question regarding the IP of the company, because you're talking about professors working with the universities, what exactly the relationships are.
Perfect. Yeah, we own all the IP. It's we are venture backed as of early this year, and we've gone through this very deep due diligence with the universities, and it is all of our IP.
So university also investors in the company? Do you have any investors?
No. So the World Wellbeing Project was had a government grant of undiluted about $3.5 million in funding, and they used that technology to create an open-ended software. And what we actually did with that team was created a proprietary commercial application of that system. So we own all the IP to this application.
Got it. Thanks.
What's your traction today? Can you just summarize it in 3 or 4 sentences, please? Your traction?
Sure, totally. So we have one of our clients is one of the world's largest media conglomerates. We've done successful pilots and have expanded with larger teams for Fortune 100s.
How many pilots? How many dollars? Give me the numbers.
Tens of thousands for each pilot, and each SaaS agreement is $10,000 per month as well. And we have actually a couple of new proposals that we've just sent out over the last couple of weeks. So
what's your net total revenue to date?
We're under ARR, but we're in the realm of 100K or so in terms of pilot and other revenue.
100K ARR or 100K total?
Total revenue. So we've largely been doing pilots, and we're now converting them.
Dimitri, this is Sunil. One of the largest problem of deriving the customer insight is getting the data. So what are the different mediums? How you are cracking that part of problem to really acquire that customer data?
Yeah, that's totally a valid question. That's one of our key differentiators is we're able to look at data that none of our competitors are able to look at. So what we found actually at the start of the spring was all of our customers have been looking at quote unquote sentiment analysis for their internal customers. What they weren't doing is looking at their competitors' customer sentiment. So that's what we're able to do. We're actually crawling things like Amazon, Twitter, Yelp, any external data source. And what we do is we take in the company's internal data requests, and we actually map those to the external things like competitors' reviews. So we can actually understand what matters to your customers more than what matters to your competitors' customers, and vice versa. And so we actually developed this system that's aggregating any customer interaction that's organically available to you.
So basically,
sorry guys, we have out of time. You can discuss it in the chat. Yeah, I appreciate it. We have to move next. Thanks, Dimitri. Yeah, and the next startup is Pigeon Networks.
Hi, I'm assuming you can see my screen.
Yeah. Okay. John,
all right, well, I'll get started. Yeah, thank you. Hey, I'm John Marson. I am the founder and CEO of Pigeon Networks. I'm also a physicist who spent 15 years developing products and managing global applications that solved other people's problems. Then, while at a kid's birthday party at Safari Sam's, my son went missing. After I found him by running around and screaming his name, I searched for a better way to find him. And I didn't like my options. But then I had an idea. What if Safari Sam's routers could locate the device for me? Then it wouldn't need a GPS. And I could give my son a cool fitness band that he would actually be motivated to wear all the time. I liked the idea, and it turned out other people did too. You see, some programs have hundreds of kids show up, and staff need to know who's here and where they are. They also think a lot about motivation because motivation is core to their business. They need to motivate the kids to stick with their program over the long term. Pigeon helps with motivation and location. Here's how it works. Camps create and share goals through the app. Kids see the goals and progress, which drives motivation. And while the kids are checked in at camp, the staff's phones and routers detect the bands near them and report the location. As camps went live, the amount of motivation that came from a simple sticker recognizing step achievement was amazing. And surprisingly, high school boys were just as motivated as the little kids. Then COVID hit. shutting down our customers and leaving their kids stuck at home playing video games instead of being active at camp. This turns out to be a huge opportunity for Pigeon. We're adding new features that will enable our customers to re-engage with their kids remotely. In 2016, people spent $41 billion sending kids to after-school programs and kids camps. This represents a $2 billion opportunity for us. Follow-on markets bring this up to 10. We started in 2016 and built our team and product while testing different features with real customers. We had 5x growth last year, and with COVID, this year is looking to be the year we break out. Our dedicated team is based in the US, India, and China. We've been battle tested and we still like each other and the mission. I've pulled together advisors from branding, marketing, and software to help Pigeon become the tool that after-school programs and kids camps use to keep their kids safe and motivated. If you're as excited about this idea as I am, you can reach out to me at john@mypigeon.co. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Any questions?
John, can you maybe once again just take us through how the technology works? I mean, is this kind of a mesh technology which links one phone to another phone? Do people have to be connected to the same cloud? How is it recognizable? And what happens if there is no phone in proximity or router?
Yeah, okay, thanks for the question. So to answer the question, you only get location if you are currently at a location that's covered by the Pigeon network. We don't use GPS, we don't use cell. So if you're out of range of a phone, the device doesn't work. The way it works is you have a place that's partnering with the Pigeon network to provide location to the cloud, which is then available to the parent through the mobile phone, or if they're checked in at camp, it's available to the staff member. Did that answer the question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks. So, thanks, John. You can stop sharing your screen. Yeah. Thanks for your presentation. And we're moving next. Red Apple Digital Health.
Hello. Let me just get my presentation ready here.
Yeah.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So I'm Buck Maurer, CTO at Red Apple Digital Health, former developer at WebMD. I'm here with Assad Z. He is a biomedical engineer with 30 years experience in the medical industry. We believe it should be easier to find and connect with telehealth providers. The problem is we see it as healthcare providers are still not available online to the extent possible. To quote, the dirty little secret that any physician who's being honest will tell you is that 90% of primary care visits can be done remotely. So if that wasn't obvious before, especially, and if you've had an appointment in the past 3 months, it's clear that telehealth is becoming the new norm. So here's a graph here that shows 22 million telehealth visits in 2016, and 2020 that bumped up to 60 million. Probably an underestimate because of the pandemic, but clearly it tripled, and clearly it's a big wave that we're about to ride. So the metaphorical toothpaste squeezed out of the COVID-19 pandemic bottle, not going back in the bottle. This is timely technology, and we believe that we can capture a big part of this market with an organic bottom-up approach. Our market consists of doctors, dentists, chiropractors, fitness trainers, nutritionists, and potentially nursing agencies. So it's $1 billion plus market. So we've built a web application, and we're building a mobile native app too. Here's a look at our user experience from the patient perspective. As you can see, you can find a doctor much like you would in a matchmaking dating app. So if you've ever used Tinder, this is kind of a similar user experience to that. To find the right healthcare provider for you, you can search by whether they accept cash, insurance, distance and their specialization, as well as review their ratings. So here's another look at our HCP dashboard from the healthcare provider perspective. As you can see, there are modules for today's appointments, analytics that they get to see how many page views they've had, and a subscription module. So we're hoping that they can also connect via video and audio conference. We are a software as a service platform, so we connect patients with healthcare providers. We charge the healthcare provider $100 a month or $1,000 a year. And this is free for patients. So our journey back in 2019 started with pre-seed funding. We've gone through rapid prototyping, market research, and we've since this year re-strategized around an internal engineering team. And then this month, we have launched to production. So that's Red Apple Digital Health. Feel free to contact us. Again, Asad Zaidi and Buck Maurer. Glad to have you all here, and thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Bill Baker, and I have a quick question. So in essence, you're the LinkedIn for healthcare professionals, so kind of simplify things. Most health plans already have the healthcare professional already included in there. I cannot choose my own doctor, unfortunately. A doctor is chosen for me. How does that work with your platform? How do you rectify that?
Yes. First thing is that we are going after people who are looking for healthcare providers, not the ones that they already have. Not only the doctors, but chiropractors, dentists, nutritionists, fitness trainers, and nursing home facilities. So we are not focused just on the doctors. However, we are finding out that more and more people are falling in and out of the insurances, and they are looking for new healthcare providers within the doctors and dentist category.
I agree that there is maybe a better opportunity on the fringes of your market, which is the healthcare, the fitness instructors, the chiropractors, dentists, and so on and so forth. But you seem to be promoting the telemedicine and digital health, which is predominantly medical professionals or medical practitioners focused.
Yes, both in terms of fitness trainers and also for doctors, because that is a platform that can be used not only by doctors but by nutritionists, fitness trainers, and multiple of other healthcare providers.
And the other thing is a lot of doctors have private practices. So we're planning on targeting, even if they're part of a practice group or hospital, they can have a private practice on the side, and we can help them connect in that way.
And how are you guys different from Pager or Heal?
I couldn't hear the question, please.
What's the difference between you guys and Heal or Pager?
Oh, yes. Heal's actually,
on that
yeah, Heal actually employs doctors. All we are providing is a service for people to match with the doctors. So Heal have people on their platform and they hire doctors. We are trying to be the bridge between the search engines and getting to the doctors within a very quick platform, and immediate matching and connecting patients with the doctors almost on an immediate basis. So doctors can review patients and swipe left and right, and so do the patients can review doctors and then they can swipe left and right. There is an algorithm which we have patented. Our technology is patented.
Thanks, Azad. Sorry, time is up. Yeah, we have to move next. You can discuss any questions in the chat. So we are out of time. Please respect each other. And we have to move next. And the last startup is MyTero. And we will discover who will win.
Right. Are you tired of sending your food waste to landfill and polluting our environment? Well, I am. Hi, my name is Robert Luo. I'm the founder and CEO of Mitero. When I visited my uncle's dairy farm in China in 2018, I was shocked to see buckets and buckets of spoiled milk. He was really frustrated and he asked me to help him find a solution. That was when I first investigated the impact of food waste to our climate. In fact, 40% of the food that we produce around the world goes to waste. Amongst that, 128 million tons of milk are being dumped. Food waste will generate 3.3 billion tons of greenhouse gases. Just imagine 37 million cars driving on the road at the same time. How can we find a sustainable and affordable solution to solve this global problem? That is when my company, Mitero, started with the innovative technology that re-engineers milk waste into biodegradable fiber that can replace plastic. We're literally taking a world problem and turning it into a world solution. How do we do it? First, we have to extract and purify the milk protein. Step one, using our patent-pending technology called protein activation, we extract the bacteria-grown milk protein from expired or spoiled milk. Once we have the milk protein, we purify it and remove the unwanted substances through our second patent-pending process called self-assembly purification. Then, we separate the two different types of protein from milk, casein and whey. We spin casein protein through dynamic flow shear spinning into this fiber I'm holding up right here. And this fiber can be made into t-shirt, just like the one I'm wearing, face mask, bed sheets, and other textile applications. And we use whey protein, which is the byproduct of yogurt and cheese production, into packaging film. And this is a prototype that we create. Looks like a saran wrap, plastic saran wrap, but it's not. It's made from whey protein. Our fiber is skin-friendly and allergen-free. It's great for, especially for babies, for younger kids, and for people that have skin allergies. It costs cheaper than organic cotton and modal, and it's 100% biodegradable while requires 60% less water compared to organic cotton. And as for our fiber, it's biodegradable, edible, and non-toxic. We're helping cheese and yogurt manufacturers to reduce their waste disposal costs at the same time, provide a great solution for their food packaging that can block out water and oxygen molecules to keep the food inside fresher for a longer time. We began with the B2C approach in June of 2019 by selling our own milkshake on our website. For the next 8 months, we generated over $100,000. Then we decided to pivot from B2C to B2B to become a supplier of our material and technology to other corporations. Once we get a better market understanding and market share, we will license our technology to anywhere around the world. My family has 30-year supply chain management relationship, so that naturally passed down to me when I began my business. We have several patents that are waiting to be granted. We are currently partnering with Dairy Farmers America, which is the biggest raw milk supplier in the world and then known. We have been accepted to join Growth Accelerator in Singapore by AgFunder, in which we'll be working with Dole, the banana and pineapple company, to continue developing and commercialize our whey packaging film. Since we pivot toward B2B, we have gained several well-recognized traction from big customers. For example, we have received early purchase commitments from Toyoshima and Harada, which are two very big Japanese trading and textile companies. And we intend to start supplying the second version of our milk fiber in the beginning of 2021. As for our whey packaging film, we have also gained early commitments and attraction. Like when I mentioned, we will be working with Dole to continue developing our packaging film, and we have received early commitments from Arla in which they intend to purchase 10,000 meters of our packaging film once ready for each of their cheese and yogurt product. We have a team that generates results. I have started 3 companies with 2 successful exits. We have a team of PhD material scientists, chemists, and marketing experts. As for our timeline, like what I mentioned, we intend to start supplying the second version of our fiber in the beginning of 2021, and we intend to start supplying our packaging film in the beginning of 2022. And we want to make sure that our technology not only applies to dairy waste, but any type of protein-based food waste beyond dairy.
Thanks, Robert. And we have just time for one question, and we have to move next.
Robert, this is go ahead, Jordan.
If you look at the entire mix of investors in front of you right now, Robert, who are the top 3 that would make you most successful? And don't worry about hurting people's feelings.
Well, I would say that investor in the ag tech industry will help us the most, as we are in the agriculture technology industry, food waste
So
industry.
that's one. What else?
And then I would say in the packaging industry as well, and then the textile industry, as where these are our downstream partners.
Anastasia, just a quick question, Bill Baker. I see there's lots of machinery and some big factories. How capital intensive is the manufacture or the process itself?
Right. For small scale production of our fiber, which will be about 600 kilogram per month, the machine already have that. That costs about $200,000 to build the machine from extraction to spinning. And as for the weight packaging film, it will cost about $700,000 to reach a mid-scale production of 525 kilometer in annual production.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Bill. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Absolutely. You can continue in chat. And I would like to remind judges, please vote. We will announce a winner a little bit later. And right now, I would like to remind you that we have 2 special guests. Alexander Sasha Johnson, co-founder and managing director of the Heat Capital and founder and managing director at Global Technology Capital. And Bill Reichert, managing director at Garage Technology Ventures and partner at Pegasus Tech Ventures. We'll have a little chat and announce our winner afterwards. Sasha, Bill, are you with us?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Bill,
hi guys, I leave the floor to 2 of you.
Okay. While the judges are voting, I know that's going to be tough. Sasha, great to be with you. Wish we were in the same room.
Yeah, I know. And I know that we don't have too much time. So, I just got an email from NVCA. You obviously subscribe to that too. And they say that in 2020, that the second quarter, 22 billion already has been raised for venture funds, right? And yet we see that early stage deals are actually not that active right now, right? So if you look who has raised the money, it's like General Catalyst, $2.5 billion. Then Lightspeed Ventures, they did like 900 million each fund. And so that's what made that huge number, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is happening with the early stage funds? I know what's happening with mine. I don't want to talk about it, but what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, and again, my experience is anecdotal on this. I'm confident, though, that the early stage funds that have solid track records are not going to have any problem with their next round of funding. It doesn't seem to be a big issue. I think the younger funds that are not yet as proven, and are going to have a very tough time. And I just think the reality is now there is a flight to quality, which is typical in this kind of environment. And so that's going to make it tough for those of us at the seed and early end of the spectrum. The good news, I think, the good news is that there is lots and lots of cash sloshing around the system, right? I mean, even though
So what do you think, right? Because what's interesting, if you talk to us, like venture funds, we say, if we see a good deal, we'll find money to invest. And the entrepreneurs would say that we have all those deals, where is the money? So from what I see, since the pandemics, like what is it, in March? I mean, oh God, it feels like it was a year ago. We spend most of the time working with existing companies and what is known as a triage, right? When you kind of have to make those hard decisions to where do you spend your time? And if before we would spend most of the time looking for deals, now, at least in what I see with my colleagues, we spend most of the time working with existing companies. Like, what do you see? Do you look for more deals or do you spend your resources with existing?
No, I think it's, there's been a slight shift, but it's not nearly as dramatic a shift as during the meltdown. Because a chunk of our portfolio is fine, because in some cases, COVID has actually been a little bit of a tailwind, because they're part of this, movement toward digital. And so we see in logistics and even in parts of e-commerce, obviously in health, we see, a fairly robust situation. In enterprise, I haven't seen, enterprise, most everybody seems to be okay. Things are slowing down a little bit in terms of sales cycles, but it's not like it's a crisis. And then there is there are a chunk of people that are, struggling. So some of them were lucky and they had enough cash and they were very proactive. And I'll tell you, we didn't have it in the meltdown, but this PPP thing wound up being, relevant to a number of early stage companies. For raw startups, though, there was no value in PPP because they didn't have, have the structure. So it's very different across the spectrum of portfolio companies. So to me, it feels as though, we're still doing all the things that we used to do in terms of seeking out new companies and working deals and, managing portfolio companies and looking for exits. We're still doing the same mix. It's only shifted slightly, which is a dramatic difference from the meltdown, in my experience. I don't know.
We have the same, because the first month is like, oh, what do we do? How do we look for deals? How do you evaluate a deal if it's all remote? But then when it comes to due diligence, I'll tell you, that's where the big network comes in play. Because if you do have a big network, then my diligence now is I call people I actually know from before, and that's how we take out deals. And maybe we will just make more phone calls than before, because you don't have a luxury of evaluating the whole team in person and work out all the details. But I agree with you. Right now, I wouldn't say like back to normal. Nothing is back to normal, but what is back to what it is, we still look for deals. We still work with companies. And one thing I would say, what do you think about valuations? Because what I see that it's easier to evaluate now later stage deals, and usually valuations will come down, but it's still easier to decide what it is. Like with the new deals, would you say that valuations are coming down a little bit?
Yeah, no question. I mean, no question compared to a year ago. Now what we hear is, typically you have this conversation about, what was your last round of funding and what sort of numbers do you have on it, in terms of whether it's a cap or a post money. And increasingly now we hear entrepreneurs saying, well, we know it's a trying time, and so we're very open and flexible. So a year ago, entrepreneurs were not open and flexible. It was like, boom, we're absolutely 50 million pre-money for our late seed or whatever it was, right? So I think, but nevertheless, the valuations are, for a number of companies that are, again, they, are category winners or hot, for companies that have sort of pulled away from the pack, it doesn't seem that the valuations are being affected that much. I mean,
if you know what you're doing and you as a company understand your spot, and you're aware of everything, competition and the changing environment. Some of the companies presenting today, right? Some of them were more aware of where they are. And I don't want to grade them before, the judges do it and they'll announce the winner. But I saw a couple of companies that actually have, if they are in the fundraising process, they will have a chance to get the round. But that brings us back to this whole syndication stuff. You know, we are in Silicon Valley, but you also, through your work with the was it how do you pronounce this? Pegasus.
Pegasus. Yeah.
Pegasus.
Yeah,
right.
That's been a very interesting evolution for me personally, because I've been so used to historically, you know, being able to, you know, get my hands on the entrepreneur, right? And one of the things, in a good way. Boy, that was boy, that was dangerous. Right? Thank you, Sasha. And I do think one of the things that this you know, COVID Zoom thing has done is it's made us just so much more comfortable with this mode of interaction. And the reality with Pegasus, we're talking to entrepreneurs, you know, all over the planet. I had a conversation this morning with India, very early this morning, and it didn't feel that different than talking to an entrepreneur in San Francisco. So it was not, I think the investor community is going to get used to this remote process. And then I just as a shout out to this group right here and VC House and what you've assembled here, I got to tell you, whatever we got, 60 investors here today. I mean, this is extraordinary that we have, something like 60 investors here today. And maybe partly that this is a phenomenon of COVID, but I do think what we are all hyper aware of is you really want to have those connections. What you were saying before, Sasha, you want to have those people you can reach out to and connect and help.
Yeah, but then, so I think that the big problem is liquidity. I see how we can continue to work with our companies. We look for other deals. We do syndicated deals. But when it comes to liquidity, that could be tougher. M&A probably will still be happening. Actually, we did have a bunch of IPOs not that long time ago. One thing I wanted to ask you, what do you think of this new vehicle, which people are talking about, SPAC, this partial purpose acquisition company? Because that's another thing I got in an email today. Yeah. Remember that very infamous electric vehicle maker, Fisker, right? They got their own,
right?
Yeah. Okay, so right now they have their own IPO version for 2.3 billion, and that is done through that SPAC vehicle.
Oh, really? Right? This is a reverse IPO through a SPAC. Is that what they're doing?
That's what they're doing. I guess one of those things still will work.
Again, SPACs are, it's an old concept. It's not new at all. And so it's been around for a long time. It's interesting though, that now that you mention it, I hadn't heard many people talking about SPACs and, recently
until last month. I don't know, something happened last month.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's revived, and it makes some sense. I think we also, we're seeing evolution and creativity in the liquidity markets. So we are seeing increasing pathways to liquidity compared to, the old days. In the old days, it was IPO or M&A, and then to some extent, maybe private equity, and now increasingly we're seeing more pathways to liquidity, even in the IPO world.
Right. And the whole thing with the secondary market, right? And that is something which didn't exist like even several years ago. So you can still find a way out. Then another thing, people are asking me frequently, do you guys invest in an idea? Well, no, not really, right? You still need to have like something looking like a company. But then something like this, Clubhouse happens, right? Let's gossip about that. This voice-activated social network where two founders, forget revenues, they just started,
Yeah.
The testing ground was what, 1,000 people, and they got a valuation of $100 million. How does that happen? Obviously, you and I didn't invest in that company.
Yeah. Well, again, it's more than it turned out to be more than an idea. It was, and people have tried. It's to the, it was in one of the session, and this happens all the time in these pitch competitions. We investors, we always jump down the throat of the entrepreneurs and say, gee, what's your barrier to entry? If it was so easy for you to build this, then anybody can build it. And so how can you possibly win? And so you look at this Clubhouse thing and some other things out there, even, well, TikTok is a 8-year overnight success. I don't know when, it took a long time for Musical.ly / TikTok, and then it's, huge, but it seems as though it was this explosive success just in the last 12 months. So there are these other factors that create winners, and a lot of it has to do with the creativity of the team in the product design and the go-to-market strategy. Google had
like 10 years, right? People are thinking, oh, Google, oh, Facebook, 10 years before, but people forget about that.
And there was nothing terribly proprietary about either of them. I mean, so Larry Page had the page ranking patent, but that was
search engines were at the same time, right? There were like 8 or 9 search engines, and some of them probably were even better technology-wise. But so what is okay? And that would be the last thing I wanted to talk about. Like when people are saying smart money, what is smart money, right? We all say that as a venture capitalist, you bring to the table more than money. So what is it that we do? I usually say, yes, this big network and a second, pair of brains. We're like a sounding board to a founder.
Right.
And obviously the founder, and it's his team or her team are running the company, but we do have a say. And if you just want money, I usually say, go to a bank and get a loan, right?
Really, that's what you say?
That's what I say. Well, I do have an opinion, and if you don't want an opinion,
no, you're absolutely no. I mean, taking money, taking venture capital from an entrepreneur, for entrepreneurs, we want to be very clear with entrepreneurs when we're talking with them that they understand, sort of what we're getting into together here. And, that on the one hand, if you're an entrepreneur, it would be great to have a lot of choices in terms of whose money you take. That would be wonderful, right? If I get to, sort of pit a bunch of investors against each other, who gets the right to give me money? I was pretty lucky in terms of when I was an entrepreneur raising money. I did have the opportunity to turn down a top tier Sandhill Road, and it was not the stupidest thing I've ever done. It was stupid. There was no reason for me to turn down this investor. But for whatever reason, the lead investor, had this macho thing, and whatever, and all sorts of stupid dynamics that go on in that regard. As far as entrepreneurs are concerned, presumably every investor brings some sort of value to the table, hopefully, at a minimum, some level of experience at navigating the whole thing, but ideally some domain expertise and knowledge and a network and the ability to facilitate with either business development or team development. So the entrepreneur has got to be taking the investor in as a partner, not as a necessary evil, which sometimes,
Sometimes it happens, yeah. But when people say, oh, you walk in and you fire CEO, it doesn't happen that often. Because, we're on the same boat and, you fire the CEO and then what? Somebody needs to be in charge. So it doesn't happen at all.
I agree. I mean, it's this trope that has traveled around the entrepreneur world, but I would never invest in a company where I thought after I invest, I have to fire the CEO. That's insane.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But
Now,
okay.
bring us back to this platform. As you mentioned, you've heard me say something about this VC house platform.
Yeah.
And it is like, I want to pick your brain while we have this opportunity. So when a fund shares a deal, sometimes when you run out of money, but the company still needs money, and you bring other investors in. So this is another myth. When it's a good deal, a fund does not want to share a good deal. And if they invite you on in a deal, it means that that deal is in trouble. That's another myth. So I would say in a good syndication, you do not invite you or somebody you want to continue working with, and the Silicon Valley is a small community, right? So how would you comment on the syndication when you invite somebody in your deal, in your portfolio that is fundraising still? Like what is your thought process there?
Yeah. So I mean, it is fair that frequently when we are involved with a potential, startup company or potential investment opportunity, frequently what we discover is there's already excess demand for this company. And I would love, I would love to have a couple of my good friends also in the deal, because as an investor, I want to make sure there's some like-minded people around the table. And so if I don't know the other investors, I'm a little bit anxious, what is their mindset and what are their expectations? Because frequently the expectations of investors can differ. And that can be a big problem for an entrepreneur. And so you really want to make sure as an entrepreneur that all of your investors' expectations are aligned. And as an investor, you want to know that the other, where the other investors are. So everybody has a shared interest in this. So the reason I reach out is because I want other like-minded, good investors at the table. In addition, I encourage every entrepreneur, you never want to have one, and ideally, not just two investors in your company. You want a little bit of breadth and depth, partly to make sure that if the other investor gets out of bed the wrong way one morning, you don't have a big crisis. You want enough breadth and depth, to make sure that there's not too much dependency on any one investor. And so, it is fair, however, that there are companies that I fall in love with that, for some combination of reasons, I think it's because they haven't done the best job of fundraising. And so I say, okay, I'll help you. And so I want to take it to some other investors. And I always worry that my buddies are saying, Bill, yeah. I mean, the only reason you brought this to me is because you can't, So there's a little bit of that tension. I mean, it is somewhat classical as human beings that we envy and desire the things that are hardest to get, right? I mean, and so that's a little bit of a psychological problem that we all have, but there are...
I don't want to be a member of a club that will have me, right? Was it Mark Twain? Right. But
Classic line.
Yeah, well, it's lovely talking to you. I know you need to run. Let's check if the people have a question or two. Anna, what do you think?
Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Bill. Sasha, it will be wonderful if we ask somebody. Do we have time to announce winners, or do you want to ask questions before that? Because
I have a question for Bill. Bill Baker here. If you can come closer to the camera and show me how you do that thing with with the neck, getting a hold of the entrepreneur, because I have some VC friends that I wanna be able to do the same thing too.
I think we need to call him Trinosaurus Bill going forward. Trinosaurus Bill. That's what his name is going to be.
Okay.
Bill, this is Jordan with SVVG. Are the fundamentals for early stage investments, are the fundamentals, the baselines, the things we learned in the last 10 years that we are always intuitive about, are they still applicable, or do we need to either reset or say, let's COVIDize this?
Well, I think, I think the fundamentals are still roughly the fundamentals. The thing that has reset is the ability for entrepreneurs to, sell the dream without much evidence. And so that's, I think, going to be tough. I think all of us are going to be much tougher about traction and about pathway to cash flow break even. So I think, and this happens in every downturn, this is what the VCs do, is we all get more concerned about financing risk. So, every investor in this round is going to be thinking, where are we going to get the next round? And for companies that seem to be hot, that seem to be on a roll, that seem to be, very clever, during this last upcycle, we weren't that worried about the next round because there seemed to be so much money out there and so much enthusiasm and everybody was oversubscribed and all that sort of stuff. Now there's going to be much more focus on making sure that the entrepreneur, that the company can get in control of its destiny faster. So if the money's there, then, and we can prove that we have a scalable, repeatable, sales and marketing engine, then we'll be able to take more money. But we want to know that if there's some problem out there in the financing world, that worst case, we can scale the company to break even and sort of ride out whatever recession or storm we may be going through.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, do we have time for one more question, or should we stop here?
One more will do that.
Okay, the people have one more question.
Yes.
Oh, if not,
okay.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Sasha, for wonderful insight. It was a pleasure having you aboard.
I'd rather be abroad, but
yeah, me too. You see, my turn.
Well, you both are abroad to each other, so you're spot on.
Yes, pleasure. We'll hope we'll see you more because we have a couple more events to go. A couple in Asia. We're gonna do Hong Kong this Thursday, and we have a couple.
Wow.
I think in Canada and in United Arab Emirates, and then the finals. So keep our fingers crossed.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Let me know. Okay.
Thank you, Bill. Wonderful.
Thanks, Sasha.
Thank you, Sasha. Always great to work with you. And congratulations to everybody here for pulling together this group. This is potentially extremely valuable, extremely powerful to have this kind of network working around the world. So congratulations.
Thank you, Bill. We'll see you more at our events. It's always a pleasure to host you.
Okay.
And we will know who is the winner in just a second. So if you'll stick around, you will know who was the first one. Yes. And I have this.
Oh yeah. Now we can announce the winner.
Important music. Go ahead.
So, according to judges voting, the third place goes to Stitch Insight.
Congratulations.
And congrats. And the second place goes to Moonshot Junior. Congrats.
Thank you.
And the first place goes to Maitero.
Yeah. Wonderful. The last one, but
Congrats.
One. Yes. Get ready for the finals. You will see the best startups from all over the world.
Thank you to the judges.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you to the
Wonderful. Pleasure to hear you.
Thanks for putting it together. Love it. I never thought that this kind of setup exists. So really good, especially in the middle of pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, now you know. Yes, that's wonderful to have you. And Alexander, was it expected for you? Number 3, number 2, and number 1, or your favorites were the other ones?
Yeah, I would agree.
Good. Oh, I am satisfied. The job is done good. Wonderful. What do you want to know from LA? And well, from the California, it's not. It was supposed to be a LA event because we meant it to be offline. Nobody thought that the lockdown would last for so long, but so we did it we did it online and did it California event. So what do you want to know from California?
But did we have one startup from LA today or no?
Nice.
They're all from California.
Okay.
Yeah.
California, Irvine area. So
yeah,
just from LA.
Yeah. So number 2 was from LA.
Okay.
That's good.
So maybe Anna,
we will
announce the next events.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Anastasia, can you share
Thanks.
slide?
Yeah, we
really encourage everyone to join us for our upcoming events. We have only 3 events to go before the finals. So we're waiting everyone to join us for the finals. Of course, you can contact me, contact Anastasia, and we will tell you how you can be at our expert board or as a guest, whatever role you prefer. And we will have Hong Kong events this Thursday, as I said, and next Tuesday is Canada, and then it will be United Arab Emirates. And then we are all set for the finals. So thank you everyone for joining us. It was really a pleasure to see all of you. And
Thanks,
see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome work as usual.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you
Jordan,
next
you're
time.
too kind. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. If you have any questions, just email me and I will contact the winners for next steps. Thanks for everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys.